I'm feeling so happy to see young faces.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Thank you so much for coming to this call called Anxiety to Awesomeness. Yes, Anju, what you were saying something?
I was saying I'm feeling very happy to see all these young, pretty faces.
Ah, nice. That's why, is that the reason you hide your pretty face?
I really that pretty face.
There has to be a reason. See, we judge others
ओहो,
for who we are, and so you want to
मेरी तो
see, and you don't want the
मेरी तो
world to see you, and you don't want the world to
no
know
no
how
no no
pretty you
no
are. Look at you,
नहीं नहीं
gorgeous lady. Oh my
मेरी तो
God.
एकदम ध्वजा बनी हुई है झुंडी बांधी हुई है I was ironing clothes.
Well, that does not see, that doesn't take away the fact that you're beautiful. Okay.
Oh, thank
You
you.
could have your hair up, you could be messy, you could just not, you've not done your makeup on, or you're not wearing your lip color, but that doesn't take away the fact that you're beautiful. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's not to flatter anyone, it's just that for you to know that you are beautiful. I wish our parents would have said this when we were growing up more often than we wanted to hear. A lot of Indian families, parents think that if you're going to tell our child that you're very beautiful, we may just get arrogant and egoistic. Well, that's not true. You're just getting them to know who they are and how they are.
But that's bang on. We are three sisters, and my mother always used to tell us, don't think you're very beautiful.
You're a Punjabi?
Yes.
Yay, high five. Well, that's true. That's true. I don't know about Gujaratis, but definitely in Punjabi families, we have been asked to underplay ourselves and undermine ourselves since the time we are growing up. So
Yeah.
my husband's daughter is gorgeous. Okay, she's pretty, and I caught my husband saying, "No, no, no, don't give her too many compliments because sar pe chad jayega." I mean, well, chad jaye to chad jaye. If you know who you are, would that really matter? And would you be waiting for people to tell you, oh my God, you're so gorgeous, and then validate yourself? Because we love to invalidate ourselves. We don't think that we are good. Okay, first of all. So, what if you could just allow yourself to know that you are amazing? It has taken me 44 years to get to this point where I say, hey, you know what? I just want to do it for myself because I know I'm amazing. And of course, 11 years with Access, I'm like, thank you, Access, for getting me to acknowledge myself way more. My mom used to stop me from looking into the mirror. Okay. She's like, that's not a good thing. Mirror is negative.
I'll tell you something very funny.
Yes,
My
please.
sister cracked a mirror once, and my mother was furious. How did you do that? She said, I
Yeah.
was only looking in the mirror. So my mother turned around and told her, तुम कौन सी हुरा परी हो कि तुम शीशे में देखोगी और शीशा क्रैक हो जाएगा.
Wow. See, now this is how we damage the kids and their trust in themselves or the way they look at themselves. I
Yeah.
was going through this post on cats, and cats do not have a sense of themselves. So if they are with a dog, they will think they're a dog. If they are with a mouse and they grew up with a mouse, they will not eat a mouse because they've just grown up together. So if they are with people, they start being like that, and so they don't have a sense of themselves. So isn't that so cool? I mean, you can just be anything and everything at the same time. And we are, aren't we? We are the infinite beings that we are.
I used to feel so embarrassed when people would compliment me. I didn't know where to look, what to do. एक thank you भी मुंह से नहीं निकलता था.
So that's
इतनी
called
embarrassment होती थी.
blush, blush, blush. Yeah. And then we would go red in our ears, red in our cheeks because people would compliment and we wouldn't know where to hide our faces. And we're still hiding. By the way, we're still not willing to show up as who we are. So everything that is, we just let that go today and probably learn to embrace ourselves as we are. And how amazing can we be? Without any Botoxes, then without any fillers, we can still be.
Yeah.
Sakhebna, I just want to ask you one question. What is the anxiety that let's address the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
That's anxiety. Let's talk about anxiety. What is it that you also, what brings up anxiety? Are you too perceptive? Are you an empath that you end up picking up other people's heartbeats, or you sense their heartbeats? What is it?
Yeah, I think the second one, that I tend to pick up on other anxieties, other people's anxieties, and
And because
sometimes even from situations, like I don't even know and how it came into me, and then all I know is that I start spiraling. Everything feels like dark and in my head, and like it feels heavy. So yeah.
so when it feels heavy, what have you aligned and agreed with, or what is it that you're resisting and reacting to? What is anxiety providing or serving you that you're using it as a coping mechanism in that moment? What is going on with you, and what do you love about creating anxiety so that you don't go beyond? I had this student texting me after 4 months saying that, hey, you know what, I was in this space all over again. And basically, no tools being used, no access commands being used, nothing being done, and you just want to hide away. Because I am not saying that issues are not going to show up, and issues
Mm.
will be the same. It is our way of looking at things. How do we respond to any situation or anything that shows up in our life will determine the levels of anxiety we're going to allow ourselves to have or not have. So we are loving something about being anxious, or is it anxious? Is it an expectation that
Yeah.
you wanted and then which is not coming to which is not getting fulfilled? What is going on? What is it? Because
I
what,
think
yeah,
comparing myself, or like comparing
others are
my
better than
career
you.
line, like,
I mean,
oh, they're doing so much on Instagram or whatever, like their music is way better. It has a reach, and I'll be like, my music is good enough, but it's not out there, and all those things, like.
yeah. So can you
Yeah.
acknowledge the fact that there are going to be people who are going to be better than you, who are going to be worse than you? But if you do not trust you, there is no way on earth that people are going to come to you for this. So just a second.
Yeah.
Somebody is just asking for the link. Just a second.
Mhm.
Mm, I'll just share the link and then we'll connect. So yeah. So where is it that you lose the trust in you? And the fact being, see, there are people who are going to be a size smaller than you. There are going to be people who's going to be size double than you. Uh,
Yeah.
but do you get overwhelmed with people who are double than you?
I
Not
think so, yeah. Like
you do.
subconsciously, I feel, I don't
Somebody
know.
who's wearing XL, you'll have a problem with that.
Oh, like size wise. Okay, no,
No, no, no. Size, I'm okay with it. But you know what?
I didn't
Norm, I'm
realize
not
it.
okay with. Everything that is, can you
Yeah.
let that go? Because, see, my point is everywhere you have judged yourself because your family has always been judging you that you're not good enough. Can you let that go, please?
Yes.
And all your childhood trauma that you've lived with, that I need to prove how good I am and I'm wasting their money otherwise. Can you let that go also?
Yes, please.
Yes, you laughed. And all the wastage of money because they have it and you're just blowing it up as per them and now as per you, that you keep comparing your work with other people, that is undermining all the capacities and the skills that you have. Will you let that go?
Yes.
What if you did not have to prove anything and avoid or defend anything? Then who would you be and where would you be?
Mm.
If you've just been given a, what happened? Okay, I want to share this. So I've been doing my, my friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, she's a makeup stylist person. And when I started with Instagram in 2018, she got me into this thing of you must do a professional thing. Okay. She calls me you need to do this professionally and you need to look like a life coach and we'll do shoots and blah, blah, blah and all. I said, okay, let's do it. So in 2018-19, I was shooting and I was doing stuff and all. Not that it mattered. I think Instagram is silly, I think. I mean, the way it kind of brings followers or no followers or whatever. But I said, oh,
Yeah.
you just have a good set of pictures. I said, okay, let's do it. Now, recently, when in last year and beginning of this year, I kind of did a shoot. I had a set of good pictures, so I was happy with that. So my husband said, "But it didn't work out. Nothing. What? Why are you wasting your money, right?
Hmm.
It didn't
Yeah.
get anything. It didn't get me a modeling assignment. It didn't get me anything for that matter." I said, "Yeah, you're right. But I like a set of good pictures, you know." And that's it. What if you did not have to explain anything to anyone? What would that look like? And I will go
Yeah.
and again and again and again and keep shooting till I stop liking it. I would like to have that, and that's for me. And everything you're doing it for the world and not for you.
Yeah.
That brings up the anxiety that how is it going to look like? Why would you be afraid to go onto the stage and be who you be? Because you have been judging yourself based on how people look at you, not how you look at you.
Yeah. Right.
So where is it that you're not willing to embrace yourself? Acknowledge yourself. What personality is that? And who does that belong to? Which of your parent has had that personality?
My mom.
Oh, it's so cute. You're like daughter of your mom. My mom. I want to show you. I am your daughter. Okay, everything that is, can you let that go?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's okay. If you know this is mom kicking in, hey, mom, come a little later. Can you just ask that personality of yours, mom? A little later, we'll address you.
Yeah.
Right? So right now, I'm on this call waiting for that facilitator to show up, but she's in the US and she's not responding to my calls, and we're still doing the calls. So for a brief moment, I did go into a bit of a wrongness and an anxiety that I've invited people, and like the person is not there. I'm hosting somebody while she asked me to host her, and she's not there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk about anxiety and awesomeness because I know that I'm awesome too. And so is everyone who's going to attend the call. What if it's got nothing to do with any kind of wrongness? What if you are not wrong? What if you cannot be wrong? And that's it. So what will it
Yeah.
take for you to kind of sink that in? I am not wrong. And you're never going to fit in. Hevna, you are different. You have a different voice. Why don't you sing like Alka Yagnik, or why can't you sing like Lata Mangeshkar? And they are all different, right? Or Sunidhi
Yeah.
Chauhan, right? They're all very different. So they don't
Right.
compare themselves that, oh, I'm not singing like Lata. Or Lata and Asha Bhosle, they were sisters. They
Yeah.
both had very different, unique voices. And it's
Right.
about an audience that you are going to tap into. Who would love your voice for what it is. But if you
Right.
don't love your work, if you don't love your voice or your music, you bet, people will not like it either.
True. But I want to know, so how I would like to know that how um recently what happened was like when I'm anxious, I notice that something from the external world, like if I'm spiraling, I would, receive that kind of thing.
Well, in that moment, can you just hold it? When you said that when I'm anxious, point is, are you anxious because you recognize and you receive the judgment of someone else? And you're trying to match up their expectation, and then you feel I'm such a failure, I can't even do that, and then your palpitations begin.
Yeah.
It's like when we put on weight, do you guys, if you're listening, I'm going to repeat myself, we put on weight when we are not in communion with ourselves, when we are not being true to ourselves. That's where you begin to start expanding
Hmm.
horizontally. I mean, yeah. So it's about, if somebody is there, have you in that moment already mapped it that they have a lot of judgments of you? And then you try to manage it so that you can prove it to them, hey, you know what, look at me, I'm good. But that would cut down only when you realize that you don't have to judge you. This is me and this is how I am. Like my hair is messy, my skin is for whatever, but this is how I show up and with no point of view. When you have no point of view about you, you wouldn't really bother about who thinks what about you.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is this anxiety getting you to upgrade yourself? And are you using anxiety to create something more, or perfect yourself, get yourself in the art of perfection? Is that what you're doing? Or are you using this anxiety so that you don't show up as you?
Mm. Yeah, so that I don't show up as myself. And like I would forget in that moment who I am.
Exactly. Because that's what people are doing to you. And that's why you're trying to be who they want you to be, and you're not wanting to be who you be. And that creates anxiety because you're not being you.
Yeah.
So were you always like this, or you've become like this?
I feel like it's been there with me always.
So everywhere you chose to be a performer or an entertainer or whatever, and then you withdrew in your shell and you don't want to be seen, but you want to be seen, and everywhere you're going fight for or
Like a
against.
weird combination.
It's like one step forward and two steps backward. Everywhere you're doing that to
Yeah.
yourself, and creating an overwhelm with the tug of war going on within you. And that's the anxiety that we're talking about. Will you let that go now?
Yes.
Or just let that go, as in just face it. Bring it in front of you and say, hi. Can you just say hello to it?
Yeah.
What if there was no need for you to fight with it?
Because I've always been like, asking questions like, why is it happening? How to get, like, how does it get better than this and all that?
Yeah, it's not
Like,
about
how to get
happening.
rid of that tug of
Nothing
war,
happens to
like,
us. No,
yeah.
nothing happens to us. We create it all. We create all of this consciously, unconsciously, but we are creating it all. So what do you love about holding on to this anxiety? And when you know it's not yours, or now it's become yours, maybe it feels so real. So in that moment, I mean, is it something called breathing that will work for you? Going out for a walk, is that going to work for you? Dancing or putting on your music headphones, is that going to work for you? What if you did not have to use any tool and say, oh, these tools don't work? What if you didn't have to
Yeah.
do anything in that moment, just be with yourself?
Yeah.
What if you did not have to prove nothing to no one? Even if it means that you're going to get your next big project based on that. What if you didn't have to prove it to nothing to no one? Can you be kind to yourself?
Yes.
So everything that is not letting you be kind to yourself, because anxiety is a byproduct of you already coming to a conclusion that you're a failure.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
Like even thinking about it is making me feel dizzy right now.
exactly, but are you
It's
a
feel
failure? You haven't even started and you've already concluded that you're a failure. How is
yeah,
that
without
help you?
trying. Like
So
without even trying, I have decided
I mean,
somehow.
trying is something a half-hearted effort. Either you do it or you don't. The question is that, okay, I haven't been there yet. So what is the anxiety? What am I perceiving here? Can you just simply ask a question? What am I, there is an energy that you're sensing is your
Yeah.
body is giving you that information. And if it is palpitation, if it is something that you're like, my heart is going to pop out, all right, is it my heart? And even if it is, because you're sensing that, okay, is it excitement? Or is it really fearful anxiety?
Mm. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So does that make sense?
Yes, that makes complete sense.
Cool. Anyone else wishes to ask? So anxiety to awesomeness is something that she's going to be, sampling it out with people. If where does it feel in your body, and she's going to ask you to do a small technique where I think we'll have to reschedule it again, because I think in US the timing What did she mention? What did I get? I wonder. But we can do it again. So yeah. But anyone, if you have a question on anxiety, I can address it through Access also. So please ask if you have a question.
Yeah, Kavita, you just said something palpitation, right? Uh, of late, I've seen when I get stressed out and I'm very upset, I feel my head is going to burst, and I have, I can't breathe and I get palpitations. It never used to happen earlier. It's happened 2 or 3 times, and I connected that that was when I was really, really upset and when I didn't know how to get out of the situation.
Yeah, so we've already concluded. Could you ask a question? Okay, what are the endless other possibilities available here that I'm not considering? If you could just simply ask a question rather than thinking that, okay, this is probably end of the road and I don't know where to go. Oh my God, now everything
Yeah.
is back up. I mean, that's the sensation that you get. But in that moment, if you could just simply say, wait a minute, what is it that I'm not willing to look at? What is it that I'm not willing to consider in this moment? Am I jumping to conclusions? What
What are
personality
the
is this?
possibilities?
What?
I do ask myself, what are the
Yeah.
possibilities? And I
Okay.
do go explore the possibilities. But I'm
If
so
that doesn't
frightened.
happen, it
I'm
doesn't
so
happen.
frightened.
So exactly, what conclusion is that? Is it fear? Is it excitement? Is it anxiety? If it is anxiety,
Fear.
okay, what conclusions am I holding on to?
It's fear.
And fear is a lie. Fear is
It's
an
fear, it's
absolute lie. What
anxiety.
lies and how many lies are you holding on to? And whose fear? Like what's underneath that fear is an awareness. What are you not willing to have as an awareness?
No, lack of confidence.
Is it? Liar?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Lack of confidence.
yeah. That is not what I am. But I've
Exactly, that's
become
a
like
lie.
I've
So
become like
confidence
that.
is not the issue at all. And every way you have come again to a conclusion that you do not have the confidence. That's a lie, absolute blatant lie that you're telling yourself or someone is telling you in your head. Can you ask that
You know,
voice to shut up and get lost?
yeah.
So I was in a shoot today and I was like, okay, what came up over there was like, you know, if depression is fucking your case, go fuck depression and say, fuck you. So why can't you do that with anxiety?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get so you are not see the very fact that you guys are alive, you're kicking, you're not dead yet. You would love to play dead, that's a different thing. You are very much there. So point is, everywhere you're letting every other thing, suppress you or depress you. Can you just let that go now? Like, what will it take for you to impress yourself instead? Instead of getting depressed, please do impress in that moment. It's like, wow, I didn't even know I could do this. Oh my God, could you be that? Well, okay, how can I amaze myself in this moment? And if you could look, if you had a chance to look at yourself when you're getting anxiety pangs or whatever, can you just turn around and look at yourself? Wow, I am so cool. I can be so anxious. Interesting. And allow that anxiety to melt away without judging it. Oh my God, I'm getting anxiety. What if you didn't have to go there? What if you did not have to go there? That what's going on? What's going on? My God, this is too much. What if you did not have to come to a conclusion even with your anxiety? What if it's just a wave coming into you? If you did not react or respond or resist it, it will just move away. And you're like, okay, cool, I'm done with my anxiety. I just wanted that drama for a bit.
Oh, ऐसा नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं. I feel very helpless. It's
Yeah, and
I
that's
bounce back. I bounce most of the time when such situations occur. I bounce back, but every time it just gets worse.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you not addressing. What's underneath this anxiety that is holding on it in place? Can you ask that as a question? Because the
the
thing is there, you don't want to see. That's why it's getting worse. Why would anxiety keep coming and knocking at your door? There has to be something, right?
Yeah, that's because for too long I've suppressed so many. I can understand. I've suppressed so many feelings and tried to work around the situation.
And
But
feelings
I
are
find
something, okay, Anju, feelings are something that the body gets, okay? Get to know that. Feeling is what the body gets. Okay, body is giving you an information which is 90%, 99% not yours. So who does that belong to? And you can always say, hey, body, thank you so much. Okay, there's somebody who's going to be, somebody who is going through this shit and I'm perceiving it. It's none of it is yours. Your body is designed in a way that it gives you all the information. And all, you have always locked it up in your body thinking it's yours and suppressed it. What if none of it is yours? You were not born with it. So you have acquired it as you were growing up. Now you have a chance and a choice that you have to make, that I choose this is not mine. And tell your brain, this is not mine, this is not ours. Stop reacting. And who or what is suffocating you in
but the
that?
funny thing is, आपने अभी जो बोला ना, that you have acquired it from somebody. You have acquired it from somebody. These are the very words I said to that person. That you have a problem and you're thrusting it on me and
Yes.
making me
What
miserable.
if you did not have to tell anyone and just let it be your own personal secret? People are not here to get that, okay?
Wow. You know what happened, Kavita? I just lost control. My head started drumming. I was palpitating. I was
You were,
angry. I was,
yes, you were
if I
angry,
could,
but what lie was that person? Again, the people who are not going to acknowledge it and you're giving them some information, they're going to react, but they're not going to show that they're reacting. And you again picking that up and you're like, oh my God, I lost it. What if they were losing it in their head?
actually
So then there are you blaming yourself that it's yours.
bang on
Yeah,
because
but
there was one part of me says, no, 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 I'm fighting that. No, 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 no. The other part says, where did you go wrong? You must have done something.
so tell me one thing, Anju, in your parents, who was the one who would give in and who would win the argument uh, between your
My
parents?
my dad would always give in.
So are you being your dad?
Yes.
So stop it and say, thank you, dad. I know I've learned it from you to give in because I can't win an argument. So I'd rather lose and let the other person feel that they've won. Stop it.
अरे कोई मेरे से आर्ग्यूमेंट में जीत ही नहीं सकता है प्रॉब्लम तो वो है
But yeah, but here when
आर्ग्यूमेंट होनी भी चाहिए
someone
कोई
is there,
बात
and it's not about an argument. Argument is a way you're trying to prove how right you are and how wrong they are. What if it's
it
not
is
about that?
it is to talk about an issue and try and sort it out.
But argument doesn't sort anything out.
No, it doesn't. That's why there is no argument, but
Yeah.
a point of view is put forth. I'm putting forth a point of view. Other person doesn't react.
That's okay. Why would you want them to react? You have to just put it in their world and stop there and leave. Because if you can't breathe or you're getting suffocated because that person is not receiving, they have their barriers up, you have a chance or a choice to walk out, and that's okay. You've said what you had to. Why would you then start throwing up? And say I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that? Is that a way of controlling something? A lot of times we use anxiety as a way of control, that hey, you're not getting it, you need to get it. So everything that is to me, let it go. What personality is that? It's a personality that's acting up.
No, it is, I feel I'm being manipulated
Okay, so are they smarter than
and
you?
I'm reacting
And
and
are
I'm
you
reacting to that.
correct? So then you don't have to react to manipulation. You have to acknowledge, oh wow, they're smarter. And where am I resisting being manipulated? And how can I use this manipulation to my advantage? If you had no point of view about manipulation, you wouldn't get angry. You just acknowledge, oh my God, this person is smart. Usually I manipulate, and now he, so and so is manipulating me, which means they're smarter.
I don't manipulate, I always give in.
Yeah, but that's the way. If you have a point of view about manipulation, you will get manipulated. If you don't manipulate, you will get manipulated. If you think manipulation is a bad thing, you will get manipulated. Acknowledge that. Have no point of view
I
and
don't
you
think
get
it's a bad
manipulated.
thing.
Sorry?
I've always thought it's a bad thing.
Is it? Is it really a bad thing if it's creating greater for you? How do you say manipulation is bad? I think the entire Mahabharata is all about manipulation.
It all boils down to putting yourself always second, last, third, whatever, and
No,
every other
manipulation doesn't do that. Manipulation is always getting your way out. It's knowing.
No, I'm saying why I think manipulation is bad and why I get manipulated because I let it happen.
So stop
I
letting it
100
happen.
times ho jayega, so 101st time I will react.
No, so stop it. Stop it. It's not working for you.
It isn't, and I want to get out of it.
And you will. So then
And that's
drop
where the fear.
all your
Fear is
points of view regarding manipulation. And if you were to manipulate and see yourself, okay, if I were truly having no point of view about manipulation, how would I manipulate or out manipulate the situation rather than getting anxious and troubled? Everything that is, can we let that go, please? So anyone else wishes to talk about anxiety? And we'll have to meet again because this facilitator is not yet up, it seems. And I mean, we can use the same link again and talk about her modality, because soon I'll be inviting other people with their modalities and we'll be talking about new stuff coming in, not just Access, because Access is beautiful. You can integrate it with anything and everything, but there are amazing other modalities as well. So that's it for today. We'll meet on Wednesday or something. Thank you so much for being on this call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Thank you.